Joining us now in an exclusive interview is Campbell Soup CEO, Mark Klaus. Welcome back, Mark. Good to see you.
Sarah, great to see you as always.
So a beat on organic revenue growth, which is not super common in the food space right now, and also the guidance that you introduced came in higher than the street. So what are you seeing that makes you more optimistic?
Well, I think, we spent a lot of time, as you might imagine, in setting the guidance for the upcoming year to really try to get under the hood and understand what the consumer environment and dynamic is. And a lot of discussion, a lot of question on that, but that really becomes pivotal as you think about the next 4 quarters ahead. And I think what we are getting more and more comfortable with is that although there are some headwinds that we're experiencing in the 4th quarter and to some degree in the 1st quarter of next year as well, there's a lot of reasons to believe in momentum building throughout the year. Whether it is the cycling of inflation and pricing, whether it is even some of the tail end of COVID that was still influencing a little bit of the 4th quarter we just went through, as well as early parts of the 1st quarter, or some of the consumer dynamics that we're seeing where consumers are really being thoughtful about what's in their basket and making some tough decisions. And as the year unfolds, we expect our categories to be more favorable and selected more frequently, especially as you think about categories like soup that in the fall and the winter are far more prevalent in a consumer's basket already. Of course, the good news is our snacks categories, which have done extremely well, again in this quarter as well, are actually in the basket any time of the year. So I think when you think about that portfolio and what we're going to cycle, I think it's going to be a year of building momentum. And I think that's giving us a lot of confidence in the outlook that we provided today.
I mean, one reason the stock might not be up as much as you'd like to see and has been pressured lately, and you get this all the time, is center of the store, not where the growth is, and also a beneficiary, like many others in the food space, of being able to raise prices double digit. We saw that again this quarter. Those price increases are going to have to come down. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, and look, I think we will certainly cycle the pricing. I do not think that as we look at the outlook for inflation, although I'm not seeing deflation yet, I am seeing a bit more of stabilization. I expect still a little bit of a headwind in inflation in the early part of the year and improving throughout the year. And so therefore, relative pricing should follow suit. And I would expect a little bit of favorability from price in the beginning of the year, but a more normalization. But I also feel like because of the consumer dynamics we just talked about, one would expect to see recovery as it relates to volume and mix. And I think that's something that we feel very confident in as the year unfolds. So a little bit of the early in the year feeling perhaps a little bit more like now, but as we cycle through that first half into the back half, I really do expect to see a pivot or a shift here where volume mix becomes a bigger contributor. And I think our categories, again, are really well positioned. And, when you think about center of store, whether it's a snacking business that's been growing pretty consistently through this entire period of COVID, inflation, and even before that, I expect that to continue going forward. And our meals and beverage business has really performed well also. And I think whether it's the sauces business through Prego and Pace, or whether the core part of our soup business, and we talked about that this morning, 70% of our soup portfolio has been growing 27% over the last 4 years. Relatively stable in share this quarter, but growing share over the last couple of years, and really positioned well for the future. And even the parts of that portfolio that have been a little more pressured by private label and value, like broth, for example, we feel good about our competitiveness and our ability to continue to navigate going forward. So a lot of good reasons to see this year as a year that will build momentum, and I think exiting in a really positive position.